Daydreamers.
If y'all want to start, or if you want, I can do the intro or what have you. Or did you want to do it again, Amber? The intro.
Again, let me just
All right.
get my swag on real quick. All right. All right, let's do it. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Chemical X podcast. This is your girl, Amber. I'm here with my boys, Don and Kevin. We're about to go in on some DC stuff, some Microsoft stuff, and some Warner Brothers stuff with the X news. And then we're going to move on to the hot topic of the Captain America Civil War movie. So let's just get right into it with X news.
Okay. For the news today, I'm just going to cover some topics. You know, DC Comic Rebirth is tons of stuff coming out. DC Comic Rebirth comes out very soon, and I can't wait for all the new series. We're going to have a Birds of Prey series coming back. We're going to have Black Canary, that piece of shit, is canceled finally. We're going to have, new Wonder Woman #1. We're going to have, like, Batman Rebirth #1. We're going to have, all these things are kind of starting over to a certain extent. And it's going to be a great jumping on point for people who are new to comics, who don't want to, get, Batman 53 or 51 or whatever. They just want something that they can jump on, and this is a great time. So look out for Rebirth. Also look out for Free Comic Book Day, which is this weekend, and for, like, the TV realm, you got these Netflix shows announced. You have Punisher being announced. I don't think anyone was surprised at that. We're going to have Punisher on Netflix. We're going to have The Defenders. We're going to have Iron Fist coming to Netflix, and plus Daredevil and Jessica Jones. So it's going to be like an adult Marvel cinematic universe. If you think, like, the movies are too crispy and sweet and nice, you're going to have the Netflix universe to go to, and that's going to be, like, nice and dark for you. Unfortunately, though, on the ABC TV spectrum, some shows aren't looking so good. Agent Carter Season 3 is probably not going to happen. Season 2 is probably going to be the last season. Marvel's Most Wanted, the new show starring Mockingbird and Hunter, is not looking good. That may or may not go to pilot. And by the way, in movies, again, Batman v Superman is the 7th highest grossing superhero movie of all time. I don't really give a shit about that, but some of y'all may. And the critical response to Civil War is amazing. People are calling it Marvel's best movie, so you guys have to see it. I'm seeing it tomorrow, and that's my news. I think I went too long.
Oh, no, you're cool. I was just gonna talk to you about the Netflix series. I have not. I told you guys, like, I watched, like, the first 2 episodes of Daredevil, and I was like, sleep. Like, I couldn't stay awake during that shit. I'm so sorry. I've been trying, because a lot of people say it's a good series, especially season 2. A lot of people were saying that season 2 was good, and it's super dark. Like, they need to turn the damn light on. It's way too dark. Like, I heard, like, the scenery, like, everything that everyone is saying, like, the scenery is mad dark. And that's kind of, like, right up my alley. Like, I like Bates Motel and stuff like that, like, super dark shit. So I think I'm going to try to get Daredevil. And
yeah, you should.
From my understanding is Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and the Punisher, they're all, like, kind of intertwined. Is that true?
Yeah, well, all the whole Marvel universe, cinematically, TV is all intertwined, all of it. But the Netflix universe is definitely intertwined. You hear on the season 2 of Daredevil about this girl Jessica Jones and shit like that, and you hear and you see people from Daredevil season 1 and Jessica Jones.
You think it's, like, important to watch them all in tandem?
No. For instance, you can just watch Jessica Jones. You can just watch Daredevil. You can just watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, not really. You should probably see Avengers before you see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, the Netflix shit you can probably just watch by itself, I should say. You don't really need to see everything. But if you're an obsessive, compulsive nerd like me, you will need to see all that shit.
Nice. I heard that Daredevil is up for season 3. Are you gonna be tuning in?
Amber, did you seriously just ask me? No, yeah, I'm gonna be tuning into it.
I'm just saying. Look, so, some people I've heard a lot of the podcasts that I listen to. Some people are kind of off board at this point,
Really,
but
I've heard
yeah,
people
just a few
say,
people, not a lot. For the most part, I heard that it's good.
yeah, some people felt season 2 was subpar. You should check me and Space's interview review of it on his channel.
Damn, get that plug, get that
Straight
plug.
up, straight up. You know how I
But
do.
yeah, that's cool. I guess I'll go ahead and jump in and with my news. It really isn't new news. Everyone's kind of heard about Microsoft looking into the cross-play stuff and reaching out to all these different platforms to take on this cross-play philosophy where we'll be able to play with people from PlayStation and Xbox and PC, and we'll all be able to get along and have fun and be happy. Is it a good move or a bad move? To me, it just seems like it's too far too late. I think that a lot of these platforms, especially PlayStation, being that they are on top, and I'm not like a super PlayStation fan. I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation as well, but I use my Xbox more. But so I'm not on either side, but I think that it's too far too late. I think that PlayStation is just like, nah, son. Sony's like, nah, we are looking into other stuff. We are looking into virtual reality. They are looking at supporting a lot of the Oculus stuff. I just think it's not in their roadmap. And everyone's kind of like, why is PlayStation bitching? Why are they the balls in their court? Why aren't they giving us a straight up answer whether they want to do it or not? And I just think Sony has other shit on their mind. They got shit to do. Like, Xbox is kind of coming out of nowhere with this whole, let's finally join together, let's stop this console war and just be friends. And PlayStation is like, nah, bro. Whether it's a good move or a bad move, I think that it possibly is a bad move, especially when it comes to them trying to merge the Windows 10 and Xbox Live. Like, from my understanding, it seems like they cannot get a game to function properly on Windows 10 or on PC. Like, I think the last Batman game struggled, Dark Souls struggled, still struggling. Like, it just doesn't work. I don't understand what the problem is, but I think they're kind of Xbox is kind of destroying their relevance. Like, why would I have a console? Why would I have an Xbox if everything that is on the Xbox is on PC? You know what I mean? So it's like they're taking, I think what a lot of the consoles have over the PC's head or just over each other is holding these games hostage. Like, look, this is exclusive to us, buy this console. If you take that away, what does that leave? So, I mean, I'm kind of up in the air. I would be happy to play with my PlayStation friends while I'm playing an Xbox One game, and vice versa. I would like to be able to play with an Xbox friend on my PC. It's all cool, but is it taking away the relevance of a console? Is the kind of the backlash in the back of my head. So I'm thinking it might be kind of a bad move. I think it's too far too late. I think if this was done a while back, it would have been one thing, but I think the gaming world is moving on to other horizons. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
You can go ahead, Space.
I think that I think it would be good, but I think kind of Sony's lack of response, as you were talking about, just kind of shows the major cog in the machine, and that's just cross-platforming or making these type of decisions is always going to be hard because they're business decisions more than anything else. So it's like how Sony knew that they were fucking up Spider-Man, and in order to really get the return on that investment of owning that character, they had to team back up with Disney or team up with Disney in order to, and that was like a grown up move. You don't see these things happen, these type of deals made. But I think what takes these type of deals being made is everything falling apart. And as you said before, with Sony has no reason to feel like everything falling apart. If anything, they have reason to be optimistic about the future of console gaming that can, and virtual reality and all those other avenues. And then you also bring in, the Steam machines, if I'm saying that right, and the Nvidias and all these other just PC capable consoles and stuff like that. I mean, I think it I like it as an idea, but I just couldn't see it working. So that's what sucks about it.
Yeah, I think business wise, it could be a bad move. Like I said, it could take away your relevance. If everything that you have is everywhere else, what's going to make me stick with you?
Right.
My thing is this: all the console war, I don't think will ever end unless they do something like this. All these consoles are trying to be is the PC. At the end of the day, the PC is a master race. One of the reasons why I'm serious, that's like a term online.
I
Like,
see it.
yeah, because it's true. Nothing can compare to the PC in terms of graphics and superiority. These systems, like the PS4, PC already looks better than PS4. Okay, it already looks better. That's why they're coming out with the PlayStation 4.5 Neo, so it can be 4K gaming. But why do that when you can just have it on PC? It's already going to look better at like the first year after it's out. It's going to look better on PC. So you might as well just get that. The only reason why there is a console war, why there are consoles, because it's easier for people to pay $400 and get their games like that. They don't have to keep updating it like they do a PC. They don't have to keep, or at least updating the hardware. Blah, say blah. It's a little bit easier for the consumer. Doing like the cross-platforming thing would be awesome, I think, for the consumer. Not such a smart move for Microsoft, who, like you said, what's the point of even having an Xbox Next or Xbox One or what have you when you can just get the same thing and better on PS4 or the PC? But yeah, that's my point on that. PC rules, fuck everything.
I'm there with you. I play a few games on PC as well. I think what the consoles have over that is more casual gaming, casual gamers.
Right.
Because the PC is so customizable. Like you said, you can upgrade your graphics card. You can get one of those big heavy duty, expensive ass graphics card, and it looks like you're there.
Right.
And you can have multiple screens and all this other stuff. It's very customizable. You can set up your gaming station how you want to, whereas with your console, you just kind of plug it up to the TV.
With it. You stuck with that shit.
You stuck with it, and you have to buy the next one.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Xbox and Microsoft is kind of trying to understand, is that, okay, we don't need to keep generating these consoles. Let's just hook this shit up with Windows 10, and from here on out, everything will just be compatible with PC.
Right. I think that's what's going to happen, and that's why they're coming out with the PlayStation 4.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that's why I think they're coming out with the 4.5 is because shit changes all the time. Just look at your phone, your iPhone. A new one comes out, every 6 months? You can't expect the same shit not to happen to the consoles. Same thing with, PC, a new graphics card comes out every few months. So it's like you can't expect people just to get a console and then wait for like 5-10 years for a new one to come out. They're going to be doing it like this. I think it's going to be to the point where we're going to have like a payment plan. Like you just get a new console every 5 months. That's how it's going to be eventually. It's just you're just going to upgrade your console.
One of them fucking boxes that you get monthly, them subscribe
Yeah,
boxes,
it's going to be a console box.
Console in that shit every month.
That's what it's going to be, because it's the only way it can really keep up with the way technology is moving, I think.
That's true. I mean, we see what happened to the Wii and the Wii U.
Exactly, prime example. And I don't know what the fuck Nintendo was doing with the NX, but look,
man, they were focused on the casual gamer, which I kind of brought that up earlier. They were focused on the casual gamer, and that shit got snatched from their ass by mobile gaming. People game on their phone now. People, my dude has been playing Clash of Clans for 5 years. His shit is fucking dope. Like his his fucking base or whatever that shit is called has all types of purple and gold and all types of just mad shit. Like what the fuck? He been playing this shit for fucking 5 years.
That's
So it's
crazy.
like these casual games that the Wii and the Wii U kind of had on board and their target audience has been snatched away by mobile apps. So I mean, I think that's can that same scenario can happen to Xbox One and possibly the PlayStation. I think the PlayStation played it smart. They stuck it strictly to gaming. They didn't try to add all that other shit like Xbox One did. Like, why do I want to watch TV through my Xbox?
I have no idea.
But yeah, anyways, that's what my news. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and move on.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to talk about the news from almost a week ago. Looks like things are not well over in Warner Brothers Studios. It's been discovered here that we already have a director dropping out, Seth Graham Smith. I guess that's how you say his name. He's dropped out of The Flash, citing creative differences. We've already switched directors for Wonder Woman. There was a little report that James Wan might drop out of Aquaman, but he debunked those rumors by posting a picture of himself standing up against a Aquaman mural. So things are getting ugly, and it's been said after the report that Seth Graham Smith is leaving that this is all about Zack Snyder. After the response to Batman versus Superman critically, the reality is the DC Extended Universe is 2 movies strong, and both those films have been directed by Zack Snyder. Both those films have not done as well as they should. Batman versus Superman is supposed to be a slam dunk. Say whatever you want to say about changing it from Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman, but they had time to do it right. And Zack Snyder dropped the ball. I'm one of those people who liked the movie, but knew from the beginning, or as soon as I left the theater, that Zack Snyder definitely dropped the ball on what could have been. With that all said, WB is starting to think that also. Problem is, they already gave him $250 million to start on Justice League. Problem is, they had already scheduled Justice League to start shooting literally 3 days after the release of Batman versus Superman. This is how much of a slam dunk they thought this was going to be. The direction of the universe by Snyder is not only turning off WB Studios, but as we can see, directors who feel a pressure to have to stick within the universe that Zack has created. Now, this very interesting story comes out. It's been going all over Twitter, and I have it here in front of me. Someone took a look back at an interview that Zack Snyder did from 2008, where he was at the premiere for The Watchmen. These comments, when you look at them now, it's just kind of sad. When asked about Christopher Nolan's Batman after the release of Batman Begins, which was critically acclaimed, Zack Snyder said, everyone says that about Batman Begins, that Batman's dark. I'm like, okay, no, Batman's cool. He gets to go to a Tibetan monastery and be trained by ninjas. Okay, I would want to do that. But he doesn't like get raped in prison. That could have happened in my movie. If you want to talk about dark, that's how I would go. That's an actual Zack Snyder quote that Christopher Nolan's Batman wasn't dark because he did not get raped in prison. Something that could possibly happen in his movie. Also, he said that
The fuck, Zach?
he doesn't like comic book movies, particularly because no one is having sex and killing each other. That's why he was attracted to Watchmen. He goes on to say about Superman. I've lost my Superman quote. Um, yeah, I lost the actual quote about what he said about Superman. Oh yeah, here we go. He says that if I did Superman, Superman would pull his arm or your arm out of your socket when he grabs you, and he would be thinking, "Well, people call me a superhero, but I don't even know what that means because I just blew this guy to bits." So we already had back in 2008. Somebody actually took an interview of Zack Snyder where he said that in my movie, Batman would be so dark he might get raped in prison, and Superman would be so uncontrollably violent that he might blow someone to bits or rip an arm out of a socket just by grabbing somebody. You fast forward into what we've seen, and it's just clear. WB has put this whole thing in the hands of the wrong person. The fact that Ben Affleck is being allowed to do whatever he wants with Batman and not have to answer to Zack Snyder is writing on the wall. I feel like we're a couple months away from Justice League getting pushed back, the shoot getting halted, and maybe even seeing Ben Affleck take over this whole universe or something like that. But we're knocking on the doorsteps, I think, of, well, knocking on the doorsteps doesn't make sense, but I think we're right around the corner from having Zack Snyder removed from Warner Brothers as far as being the whole creative direction behind this universe. The last thing I'll say about that is I would argue that Jeremy Johns, or I might be saying his name wrong, Jeff Johns, who's a writer for DC Comics and has been also writing for this universe that Zack Snyder is creating. I would argue that the story is good. Zack Snyder's execution is what's bad. I'm able to enjoy the film basically off of filling in the blanks of the story with my own head, but it's actually a good story being told. It's being executed so poorly that I believe that Zack Snyder can be removed from this and we can still be optimistic about the DC universe going forward. Some people may disagree, but let's see. So that's it.
Man, based on what you said, those quotes from him, there's no doubt in my mind that he has to be removed, and he is the sole reason why those movies are the way they are. I mean, that's crazy that he said that. I had no idea, and he is definitely the reason. Because Jeff Johns, I enjoy why his stuff is a little wordy. I enjoy reading his comics, and he's a great writer on a comic book front. Some of the best stories ever, and just Zack Snyder. I feel if he was removed, we could definitely see the potential for the DC extended universe. And what he said at that, I guess, Watchmen premiere, that is a clear cut indication of what we saw happen. We saw the violent Superman. We saw the darker than fucking Nolan Batman. And
yeah,
that's crazy. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Batman being raped has to do with how dark a film is. I mean, I don't think he gets raped at any point in the comics.
Right. I've never heard of it, and I don't think it exists.
It just shows that Zack Snyder has been typecast into a genre that he doesn't belong in. And that's what I think it all boils down to. He found fame with 300, kind of came out of nowhere with that, and since then he has done many movies in that vein with, and all of his movies are kind of decisive except for 300. So I think he's just typecast into a genre that he has outgrown. I think that as a filmmaker, he wants to do gritty and different and dark interpretations of lighthearted things, possibly, or whatever it is. But I think that the superhero genre of film is not the genre for him, because the superhero genre has evolved. It started with Nolan, and there's actually also have other quotes from the Russo brothers who once they it was reported before Batman versus Superman was announced to be Batman versus Superman, back when it was Man of Steel 2. The Russo brothers actually went into the Marvel offices and pitched them on doing something different with the Captain America movies, saying to them that their quote is, people will love you if you feed them chocolate ice cream, but if you give it to them 5 days a week, you know, they won't. So it's time to give them some rainbow sherbet. That was their quote. And they say that Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige was, kind of, worried about kind of breaking the Marvel formula. But once Batman vs. Superman was announced, there was a realization that they would need to do something a little bit more story based, that deals with evolution of characters, and break away from Marvel tradition. And it sounds like that decision is being praised. So you can make a good film. I mean, when you look at Winter Soldier, you can make a good superhero movie that can be an event and a superhero movie and a good movie just cinematically all at once. I think that Zack Snyder just doesn't know how to bring that event side of it and that superhero film side of it. In my opinion, he's making good movies, but people want to see more than that when they go to see these superhero films. I mean, you're dealing with childhood and perceptions that make it so easy to fail. Yeah, it'll still print money, but if the fans don't really like it, it's a niche. So you just have to serve that niche, and that's the bottom line. Zack Snyder isn't doing it and doesn't know how to.
Yeah, I think he's good visually. Like you said, he came across kind of out of nowhere with 300 and kind of became popular from that. And even before then, he did Dawn of the Dead, which was pretty good too. But I agree that maybe the superhero stuff is kind of out of his frame, and where he's trying to make it something that it's not. So yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe he'll leave. I know it's like opening a wound for you, Kevin, because I think you've talked about this guy a million times since.
I mean, he pisses me off, man. Like he just made a bad decision. Like, people were supposed to love this, and when I read what the Russo brothers said, they said everything that I feel like I've been saying when I talk about the fact that Zack Snyder fucked this movie up. Is that they made it clear that they went to Marvel and challenged Marvel's formula. If you guys want to look this up, any of our listeners, look up the Russo brothers interview about how they approached Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and then followed that up with Civil War. It's everything that I've been saying, is that if you push a formula, people will just get bored. I personally am bored with the Marvel formula, and I think that the fact that the Russo brothers were already thinking that and trying to actually involve storylines that make us feel like there's character development and kind of shrink down the universe and bring the stories more grounded and just more real, but without taking the fun out of it. I just think that that's a great way to be looking at all of this. And that was something that I think that they saw the potential for Batman versus Superman to be that, because you realize the fact that this interview took place before that release shows you that the Russo brothers expected a more grounded superhero film that could possibly make Marvel lose its luster. That's what I wanted. And it's like, Zach, I mean, goddamn, you talk about dropping a Hail Mary, boy. God damn.
You had one job.
I agree.
Right. You had one job. It's a free throw. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you were open, bro. You were open.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Damn, man.
yeah. We're
I
coming
feel
up
you.
on 30 minutes now, so
Yeah, let's jump on the hot topic. And we kind of already, I know Don, you kind of mentioned Captain America's Civil War already. You mentioned you're gonna go see it tomorrow. What about you, Kev? You going to see it tomorrow?
A friend of mine is kind of like wants to see it and is really like not trying to let me say no. So I guess I will, but you guys can believe. I know Don doesn't believe, but I swear to God, I don't care. But I'll go see it.
okay.
Cool. I'll probably go see it. Yeah, I'll probably go see it. I'm not like super intense over the trailer. I think the main thing I am excited about is Black Panther. A lot of people are excited about him. A lot of people have been saying the comic book, the reboot of the comic book is cool. And I know Don, you kind of mentioned some comic rebirths and how they're redoing a lot of stuff for the newer fans. And I haven't really read anything from Marvel or DC, so I'm kind of happy that they're bringing back these comics and kind of giving people that are new to the genre a chance to delve into it without needing to search Amazon or eBay or whatever for old ass comics. So
Yeah.
I think that's like the main reason I want to go see it is for Black Panther.
I don't know Black Panther, so that in and of itself is interesting just to see what he's all about and what his abilities are. And I hear that there's footage of his fight with the Winter Soldier
It's awesome.
online.
It's fucking awesome.
I haven't watched it. I don't plan to because I don't like to spoil anything for myself. So
I had to
but,
watch it, but yeah.
yeah, we'll see, man. Like I really like Don. Are you actually excited about it, or are you just gonna go see it?
No, I'm very excited about it. I was more excited for BvS, of course. That was the movie. And after everything that's happened, I'm just like, moving on. Just like, an ex-girlfriend that broke my heart or something. I'm just moving on to, on to the next one. I'm just not focusing on the negative and focusing on the positive. Captain America Civil War is a positive. It's literally been hailed as the movie that BvS was supposed to be. It's the big team up movie where two people are going against each other, and it's dark and it's gritty somewhat, and it's the perfect superhero movie. It's called the best thing Marvel has ever done up until this point. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it. And of course, Black Panther. I can't wait to see Black Panther. It's a fucking black superhero since I don't know how long. Storm, like in X-Men. That's like the only one that I know. And Steel. That's it. From fucking Shaq from like 1996.
I like
So
his
Yeah.
goddamn outfit, man.
his outfit's off the chain. And it looks just like the comics. And I mean, that hell yeah. Like, I can't wait to see that shit, I can't wait to see it. And I know it's going to be good. Like, it ain't even a question. Like, with Batman v Superman, it was doubts. With this, it ain't no doubt. It's going to be good. And I'm probably going to like it.
I
What
like
could
doubts.
what could go wrong in your mind? Like what could just fuck the whole shit up? Like I know you think it's gonna you know at this point that it's gonna be super dope, but what in your mind would fuck the whole thing up?
Just too much shit being forced in there, just like BvS was. If they put too much shit in there, and that's what people's concerns were at first. Oh, it's too many characters. It's gonna be ridiculous. But if you look at like X-Men, it had tons of characters in that shit. If you look at the
Right.
cartoons, they had tons of characters. What's the problem? In the comics, they have tons of characters all the time. What's the problem with that? That's the whole
Yeah.
fucking point. So if it's executed correctly, it's no problem. All those motherfuckers. If it feels a little crowded, kind of like Age of Ultron was, then it may be a problem. But it's not the same director. It's a completely different feeling, I think. So
But I see. I
Look,
agree with what you're saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Age of Ultron was crap anyway. So
I liked it,
I'm
but
glad it's gonna be nothing like that.
yeah,
That's how I felt as well. But I think the thing is, like, you can have too much going on in a movie. It's all about how you handle it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you can have too many characters in a movie, and like, I actually the thing is, the things that I think are bad about Batman versus Superman, some of them go right along with what other people think are bad, and then some of them are some of them are like the same, but just I have a different perception of why it happened, like why it didn't go over well. And it's the kind of just the holes in the story that Zack Snyder left, and not even plot holes, just like holes in information. So it's like the bridge isn't drawn. Like you
Right.
gotta like, and I'm not going to take a lot of time on this. Like the fact that you see the Justice League the way that you do should help people not to feel like there was too much shit going on or whatever, that there was too much shit thrown in there. Because when you think about it, this is fucking 2016. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it gave a lot of power to the other characters through perception. So, like, Lex Luthor, you don't find out until the end that Lex Luthor knows who Batman is and who Superman actually is, and has been making this connection through Lois Lane that he can get Superman to come wherever he wants him to come if Lois Lane is involved and stuff like that. Like, imagine if you knew that in the beginning of the movie. You know what I'm saying? It would be a different movie. It would be like, oh, Lex Luthor has information on his server that is tied to other metahumans. It would make sense because you would already know that Lex Luthor is this like conniving guy who knows the secret identities of these two, and it would help it to pay off at the end that he's the person who makes them fight, because you would be watching him set that up the whole time.
Right.
Instead, you watch kind of just weirdly cut together scenes of him creating Doomsday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which
That
is
didn't make
bullshit.
sense.
I wouldn't say that. And just me, when I watched it, I had a feeling that, and they didn't directly say it, but I had a feeling that he knew who they were. Like
Right.
at that party that he was at, and he, brings them in. Oh, I have
Right.
Clark Kent. I have Bruce Wayne. I love bringing people
Right.
together. And for me, and maybe this is what Zack Snyder does, is he relies a lot on, like I said, visuals, body language,
Right.
and how the actor is portraying that
Right.
scene or at that moment. And I definitely had a feeling that he knew who these people were. Maybe other
See,
people just didn't get it. I mean, I
see,
felt like
oh
it
my
was
God.
there.
You are hurting me right now, because that's the thing. Like Zach's, that's why. Oh my God, I cannot even express myself right now, because we need people like you are what could have made that movie work, because Zack Snyder relies on that type of thing. But that's not the soup. That's why I'm saying he's in the wrong place. He's a good director. He's in the wrong genre because people
Yes.
don't understand those things. You were supposed to get that, and that's what I'm saying. And you were supposed to get that. It was supposed to make sense to you that Lex Luthor would have this information. Batman would get it the way that he did. And the whole emailing thing, yeah, it's kind of clunky, but it's 2016. Like, what was he supposed to do? Fucking, like, actually go to wherever she was to give it to her?
Send
Like,
her
that
Can I
wouldn't even...
can I
Raven.
can I
Right,
can
right.
I
Like, what the
interject?
fuck?
Can I interject about fucking that whole thing? If Civil War is anything, that's my problem. If Civil War ends up like this, kind of becoming the BvS discussion once again. But I will say this: the thing with Lex Luthor, conniving, whatever technology, why the fuck did he have Polaroids? That thing you sent me, Space, that was a good point. Who the fuck has Polaroids? When the last time you saw a Polaroid? How did he get Polaroids? Were they in his pockets the whole time? How did he fit them in those tight ass pants he had on? All those Polaroids.
It's just creepy.
It's just weird. And then the logo, he had everybody's information on there except for Batman and Superman. Why didn't he have Batman and Superman in that same folder? Right? And then what the fuck, he designs logos? Is he
Well,
is
Batman
he
isn't a metahuman.
no, but he should still know. How did he find out the Flash logo and the Aquaman logo
Because he's a billionaire. Like,
so he had a graphic designer come up with the logos
No, no,
that
no.
that are going to be in the next movies. That's so dumb,
Nah,
yo.
that-
That is
see,
so
that's just
dumb.
one
Come
of
on,
those-
be honest, yo. That's so you got to ask yourself these questions. Like,
that's
why
a
the
silly,
fuck?
I don't ask myself those questions because
You
those
got
are
to,
silly
bro.
questions.
They are
So,
not.
like,
They are not silly, yo. If somebody
they are
had a
silly.
file on you and they had
I
and
don't
they
know. I
had
don't
your
think
logo
Aquaman
on
is
there.
down there making logos for himself. I think Lex Luthor came up with all those things.
So Aquaman would have it in his next movie. Hey, remember that logo that Lex Luthor designed for you? It's on my belt now. That's
listen,
what's
man.
going to
It's like
happen. That is
it's
what's
like
going to happen.
listen. It's the same. It's no sillier than like this belief that all the superheroes make their superhero costume. I mean, these not all of these people. So that means every superhero like studied fucking like fashion and shit like that, and like
No,
and like
Cisco makes Flash's costume, and Supergirl Win makes Supergirl's
no, but
costume.
like Spider Man, like he made his own. He makes
Because
his
he's a
own.
genius. He's a boy genius, though. He
But
made the webs,
this,
too.
all right, so that's what I'm saying. Like seriously, let me talk though real quick. Like
All right,
you got to
sorry.
look at Lex Luthor, right? So like he's a billionaire and he's a genius. It shouldn't be hard for him to connect some type of like. It's not even a logo in that sense. It's almost like a visual code to what this person's ability is. And then secondly, if he's so obsessed with like Superman, which we don't get to understand how obsessed he is with him, but he knows about kryptonite. The first thing he does when he goes into the ship is tell the ship to give him all of Krypton's knowledge and use Krypton's knowledge to create Doomsday and stuff like that. What we're supposed to understand about him is that he's like an obsessive, calculating person. If that is the case, if a video exists of a guy that's in a grocery store and is able to like unarm an assailant and stop a robbery, and he's on two cameras at once showing amazing abilities, that's something that a guy like Lex Luthor would have. If there's a video of a person breaking the sound barrier underwater attacking a submarine, a guy like Lex Luthor in this universe should have that. You know what I'm saying? So
But
it's like,
who designed the logos for the folders, for the files on his computer? That's
what
the
you're
thing,
saying,
dog.
you are like you are like trumping this argument, and that's what I feel like a lot of people are doing with this movie. Is like, if you want to talk about the problems with the movie,
man.
there's way worse problems with the movie. If you want to start talking about
I'm not even.
walls,
I know there's
distracting
worse problems.
real
I'm
issue.
talking about these problems right here, right now. These
Your
are
problem is
clear
like-
problems that
problem
shit
is
that
like
I didn't
gay
even
marriage.
notice. That, but
It's not. It's. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, maybe he zoomed in on Aquaman's belt or some shit and was like, "Oh,
that's
this is
see
how
that's
this
a that's a
guy
possible
identifies himself."
that's a possible conclusion that I
Basically,
buy.
what they were trying to pull across is that Lex Luthor has ways of getting information.
But would you-
Not only does he have ways of getting information, but he obsesses over getting that information.
Right.
So he will get it, and he'll use his money, he'll use his power, he'll use his position,
Right.
whatever he needs to use in order to get that information.
But with
we get it.
But what the reality is Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder were very sloppy, and that's what it was. That's what it really
Zack
was.
Snyder is sloppy.
That's what it
Zack-
really was.
He's an executive producer on this project as well as the director,
Right.
and they gave him full reign over the way that he wanted to do this.
Well, yeah,
This
I
is
fully
not
blame-
Warner Brothers.
I
This
fully-
is- this
I
is
fully-
Zack Snyder.
Why
I
do they trust him
agree.
so much? Why was they like, here's this money, do what
I
you
think-
want?
I think they probably liked his ideas, and I think that they wanted to do something that would set them apart from what everybody else is doing. I feel like that could be the only reason that they trusted him as much as they did. And the thing is, you can tell that it's almost like if I gave you a story and I'm like, okay, I want you to read this story to 100 people, and I gave it to you with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like, Sally runs to the store, Sally gets a chocolate bar, Sally eats the chocolate bar, and I give you that story, and you go and you tell people Sally ate a chocolate bar, Sally ran to the store, Sally bought a chocolate bar. People can be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I gave you a simple story. You fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Zack Snyder didn't write this shit. He just fucked up what a good story that was written. There's even small bit like the whole Martha thing. The movie opens up on Martha Wayne getting shot and the father being like, Martha. A couple scenes later, like Batman goes to their grave, Martha and Thomas Wayne, and he puts flowers on their little like grave site, and it covers up Thomas Wayne, and all you can see is Martha. It's like things that are being set up that like the people who are watching this movie are not smart enough for. These are comic book fans. They just want to come, eat some popcorn, see Batman and Superman fight, and it's like when you see those things, it's like, oh wow, those are good filmmaking choices, but it's like it's not the right genre for this, man. Like you can't get that.
I agree wholeheartedly with you.
I'll
He's
just
in the
say I
wrong
was
genre.
happy that Maggie and Negan were the Waynes. I think that was like the highlight. They're from The Walking Dead. I know, Don, I don't think you watched The Walking
I
Dead,
know
but
the
Maggie
names
and
though.
Negan were the
That's
Waynes. And I was like, yes. And I think that was a highlight of the movie for me.
That was pretty cool. I agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
But
coming up on
anyways, we
45
we have
minutes right
definitely
now.
turned this into a BvS podcast once again. I know it's heavy, especially on Kevin. I know it's heavy on your heart, and
No,
I am I am kind of, I agree that it was a good movie and that Zack Snyder is just in the wrong place.
can I say something real quick about what I feel like would make Captain America not work?
Yes, go ahead.
I feel like there's no way that the movie cannot work. I feel like the only way it doesn't work is if, for whatever reason, people just don't go see it, and it makes them second guess decisions or something like that. I feel like something would have to happen in the aftermath of this movie that's kind of unrelated to if the movie is good or not. That kind of fucks it up. Inhumans has already been dropped off the schedule for some reason. I think, and DC reshuffled the deck. I think it's possible that I think it is possible that we might be getting there. I think it's possible that superhero fatigue may be getting real, and all the fans who don't even realize that this shit is separate universes, who didn't like Batman vs Superman or heard bad things about it, some people might not even go.
Right.
I think that's the only way the shit could get fucked up is if but I don't think it'll be actually related to the film itself.
Yeah, fans do think that, and the humans got shuffled around once again because of fucking Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man is the king of the Spider-Man and Batman are the kings of this whole shit. So that's
Right.
why Inhumans got, I think, pushed back and moved around and shit.
Okay.
But yeah, if y'all want to sign out at
Yeah.
all,
Well, we still have Nerd Ventures,
oh, okay,
but just to close out the hot topic, I don't think anything will be wrong with the film to cause it to bomb or anything like that. I think I've mentioned this over and over in every podcast that we have done. I'm a lover of villains, and as long as the villain is not fucked up, the movie in my mind goes great. And in this movie, the villains are the heroes. So for me, this is like mind blown. So I want to go see it just on the strength of that, and again for Black Panther. But anyway, that's it for the hot topic. We covered Captain America: Civil War, as well as some BvS stuff that we weren't supposed to, but it's all right because it's always a good conversation with you guys talking about that. So anyway, let's go on to Nerve Ventures. What did you guys have going on this week or last week or just in recent times? What Nerve Ventures have you guys been on?
Spoiler alert. Amber, do you watch Game of Thrones?
Fuck yeah.
Are you caught up?
Fuck yeah.
Dawn doesn't watch it. Spoiler alert, but Jon Snow is back. I said I was not going to keep watching this show because he died. But I just figured I'd give it a chance because everybody was trying to tell me that he was definitely going to come back. He did. I'm happy. I have a man crush on Jon Snow, and I don't mind admitting it. Real men can admit these type of things. I would probably say yes.
Yes, that's all that matters. Yes. Yes. I mean, I don't blame you. Jon Snow is the man of Game of Thrones. Fine. But anyway, I wasn't upset. Of course I want Jon Snow to come back because there's so much more to expand on his character. And there's so many theories out there about his existence period, how he might be Targaryen, and how he might be I think Aunt Lyanna's son, blah blah blah. There's so much stuff out there, so much potential for his character. So I'm happy that he was back, and everyone was already talking about, hey, Melisandre's gonna bring him back. I was just kind of like, why would they wait? What was it? It was the second episode of the season, right? Why would they wait to the end of the second episode to bring him back? I was expecting it in the first episode so we can move on with life. He's back. Let's go kill these White Walkers. But they waited to the second episode, and I was just like, all right.
Building anticipation,
It
man.
was just building it, and I was like, I was kind of hoping that they would have gone a different way of him coming back, but it was the Red Witch, Melisandre brought him back. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that is a great thing. So yeah, as far as my nerd ventures, yes, I did watch Game of Thrones. That was very exciting for me. I was happy that Jon Snow came back. I'm also watching Fear the Walking Dead, and the big thing that happened with this episode that passed is that Strand, one of the main characters, is gay. For me, it wasn't a big deal.
I haven't watched that anymore. I didn't know this.
Oh, spoiler alert! Is it too late? Is it too late?
Spoiler.
Spoilers.
That much. It's all good.
You know what? A lot of people don't, and I'm trying to hang on because I do like the idea of it. I like the premise of it. I like that it's a separate show on its own from The Walking Dead. And I like that they have a strong black male character. A lot of the male characters in the Walking Dead series were kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Tyrese was very lackluster. Like, I just wanted so much more from him because he was so badass in the comic. But whatever. Not even going to talk about that right now. But a lot of people were kind of like upset about, Strand being a gay guy. But I mean, for when he's dope as hell. Like, he has a way with words. He can persuade people, and he's the best dressed dude in the apocalypse. Like, dude is sharp, son. Like, of course he's gay. I'm just playing. but yeah, I didn't think it was a big deal, but a lot of people were going at it on social media and stuff. But I didn't think it was a big deal. But that was probably like the highlight of my nerd ventures outside of me playing Far Cry Primal. I've been addicted to that game since I got it. That was one of my anticipated games for the last podcast we did on games. And I finally got my hands on it, and I'm addicted.
How is it? Is it fun?
It's exactly what I envisioned. It's everything that I wanted in a prehistoric caveman game. Like, it's one thing when you go in and you're like firing off rounds with an AK at somebody, but when you're in the heat of battle and you throw a fucking club at somebody and it busts them in their head and they fall out, that's some real shit right there. So, and I don't care what nobody say. That is it. So it is everything that I envision. It's still a Far Cry game. It's still, all these missions and quests that you kind of just fire through. You don't really care what the person is talking about, but that's with a lot of open world games anyway. So I expected that, but as far as the gameplay and the weapons and the upgrades and stuff like that, it's everything that I imagined. So I am very happy. I'm a happy camper.
I'm gonna have to get that. For my nerd venture thing, I'm gonna just talk about Arrow. Because 2 episodes ago, they killed off one of my favorite comic book characters of all time at this point, which is Black Canary. Oh, spoiler alert. If you're not watching Arrow, we gotta put spoiler alerts all over this shit. But yeah, they killed her off. They killed off Katie Cassidy's character, Black Canary. They killed off Black Canary last season. Katie Lotz's character, or Sarah Lance. Now they killed off fucking Dinah Laurel Lance. Anyway, the thing is, with this show is so fucked up. I'm dropping Arrow after this season. I'm dropping Gotham too, because it's just too much bullshit. It's ridiculous. Too many people know. This is my complaints about Arrow. I'm probably going to do a Black Eaglezoid rants about this, but this is the top 5 reasons I got to cancel Arrow. Number 5, the fucking flashbacks. Stop with the fucking flashbacks. It's bullshit. The first 2 seasons, it was cool.
Stop that already.
They were supposed to, dog. They were supposed to with this season, but they not stopped. They keep doing this shit. It's bullshit. Like, it used to be like what he was going through in the flashbacks related to what he was going through currently, and that was cool. But now this shit don't even have shit to do with nothing. It's just he's just walking around in the past, and it has nothing to do with what the fuck is going on now. It's inconsistent with the comic book themes. You know what I'm saying? It's inconsistent with the comic book themes. Olicity love story or Oliver and Felicity. I don't know who the fuck Felicity is. I hate that bitch. Fuck her. They need to kill her. She should have died. Not fucking Black Canary. Like, he in the comics, he's supposed to be with Black Canary. That's the love of his life. They got him with this fucking fake ass librarian looking bitch. Sorry. Number three, they skip.
Someone is upset tonight, boy.
Number three, they skip on the concept to have a disabled person on primetime TV. One of the characters, Felicity, got shot, and she was supposed to be in a wheelchair. You know, she's supposed to be in a wheelchair, just like Oracle from the comics or whatever, Barbara Gordon from the comics. And they could have had a disabled person on primetime TV, something you never fucking see. You never see something like that. They could have set precedents. And then after 2 episodes, the chick can walk again because comic books and shit. It's bullshit. Number 2.
Because reasons.
Because reasons. That's the reason why. Like, they don't, like, here's a USB port that you can put in your ass. Now you can walk again. That's literally what the fuck the motherfucker had. Number 2, everybody knows his secret identity. Everybody knows. Like, even the person at the hospital was like, I know you're the Arrow. Don't worry about it. Like, the cop knows. The doctors know. His girlfriend knows. His mother knows. The dog knows. Everybody knows he's Arrow. How is he still fucking Oliver Queen? It's bullshit. And I don't have a number 1 because I didn't write it yet. But that's how I feel about that shit. It's bullshit.
And what about Gotham? Right.
Don't get me started on Gotham. Do not get me started on that campy ass. You pulled the rug out for me on that. Like, you exposed how stupid that shit is when Fish Mooney dug her eyeballs out. Like, that, it's just dumb.
Yeah,
it's
they
dumb
changed
shit.
the tone of that completely. I'm telling you, thank God for the Russos, because clearly they know how to do it right. But man, when you open up Pandora's box of corniness and superhero, man, it was the reason why nobody wanted to touch them shits for so long. We can go back into that at any moment. As soon as an executive comes in and sees like the opportunity for toy merchandise and shit like that, yo, the wheels fall off.
Right.
The wheels fall all the way off.
This is crazy, man. Sorry for venting like that. I had
nah. That was funny, man. And
I don't think I've ever heard you talk that loud before.
When he was talking about those logos, it was like, damn, I was like, I ain't gonna be able to get a word in this
logos too.
My
logos. The logos
I get
are
very,
the problem in this shit right now.
I get very passionate about. I'm a graphic designer.
That is that gay marriage deflection, that politics gay marriage deflection that you're doing with that subject, though. Like when Dave Chappelle did it, and when he was like,
"What are you talking about?"
you know, they're talking like when a politician, when you ask a politician a real question, they always end up going to something like gay marriage, abortion, terrorism.
The bombing in Syria where you killed like 10 million children at the school. Gay marriage and this.
Yeah, dodging the issue.
Right. It's like weed shouldn't be legal.
Yeah.
Like, I asked you about your foreign policy.
That was not the question.
Yeah.
That was not the question. Oh boy. All right, you guys. I think we have rambled on enough. Let's get into this. What are the social medias we could find you guys on?
You can find me at DONSGFX. Follow Daydreamers at DDP_online. And of course, follow Chemical X at Chemical X Lab on Twitter and Instagram for all those tags I named.
Alrighty, you can find me at Nerdy Amber. That's nerdy with an I. Yes, I did change my Twitter handle. I'm Twitter bipolar. I think I have like 5 different accounts under 5 different names, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Space Menace. I'm actually starting to get some followers and everything on both. And I always follow back. So I'll let your boy.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe. And also, I just want to talk about some future stuff we got going on. We're going to get a Chemical X page going up where you can catch all our podcasts there, and also some blog stuff in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. Anything else you guys want to add to that?
Nope. Just subscribe and talk shit to us in the comics like you in the comics. In the comments like you know you want to.
Yeah. Fucking say something. Don't just listen and go.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Speak your mind.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn
even
viewers.
if you just listen to a part of it, talk about that part that you listen to, and check us out on our other pages. We got a lot of them. Amber, you have personal pages, correct?
Yes. I have personal stuff.
And I have
It's on there.
stuff. So check it all out, damn it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We're not gonna tell you again. You
Right.
know? So just do it.
Right. It's gonna get weird after this.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace out.
Daydreamers unite.